candle. Alrighty, so it's just brutally hot lately. I hope it's not like this for too long. So I've got a lot less open tonight on my laptop, so hopefully it's going to behave itself. Sure, drive by with your engine right now. So my laptop should behave itself a little bit better tonight, but I'm not going to show anything to the camera. I just think that causes problems. I also have gotten TubeBuddy, which is supposed to be an extension that you can use for YouTube. And they have a free version and 3 different tiers of paid version, I think. I got the free version to see if I can use it to do some things with my YouTube channel here that I haven't been able to do before. So we'll see what features I'll be able to use in the next few weeks. I'm not sure that it's going to matter a whole lot because some of the features that it uses are, I don't want to call them lame, but they're kind of lame. It's like TubeBuddy's feature lets you see the keywords that other people are using on their videos so you can better learn how to keyword your videos. I'm like, there's a keyboard shortcut that anybody can do that with on their own computer. It's just a couple keys you hit and you can see the code for the page you're on and dig up the keywords. So I don't know that that does a whole lot for me. I think TubeBuddy also might let me do some thumbnails and end card templates that I've never seen before. So I might explore some of that. I don't know. I'm not going to spend a lot of time worrying about it. But I do feel like, let's see if we can segue nicely over to what we're actually supposed to be working on. Yeah, I haven't gotten much done on it today, but I feel like potentially my bullet journal templates could feasibly make for some good end screen and thumbnail and some of that kind of artwork for one or either of my channels. Man. All right. See, I gotta get here earlier in the night so I'm not yawning all the time. So I spent a fair amount of time today working on things that I probably should have put off and put off things I probably should have been working on. But I know that I'm coming up on the food week starting on Sunday. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is 1 recipe a night. So 7 recipes for videos on this channel. And I will post the recipes over on my Tumblr. And then I may space those out like once a week for a little while. I'll have to really crunch the numbers a little bit better to get a sense for what makes more sense. Because I do intend to do an entire set of 20 recipes that are dessert based and compile them into another cookbook. But I'm not going to be able to do them all this week. I don't have the time, I don't have the resources, and I got other things I need to work on. And I feel like the last time I did recipes, 4 per night was too many. I still feel like 3 per night might be doable, but it's still sort of pushing it. So I feel like 1 per night recipes for 7 days, posting the recipes over on Tumblr, and then after I'm done the 7 videos for this week, I may continue to post some recipes over to Tumblr. to get all 20 kind of sort of implied. I'm not sure I would I'm not sure it makes sense to completely publish them and then publish them as a cookbook later. So I have to think about that a little bit more. But I broke it down to the 7 that I want to do. Let's see if we can access that without freaking out the computer. Okay, so what I'm looking at doing is my very popular almond macaroons. I've considered doing. I also have done pumpkin spice meringues, and because it's hot weather, I've thought about doing ice cream sandwiches that I've made, which are made with a brownie crust with mint chocolate chip ice cream in the middle, and then lemon ginger Italian ice for a cold food. And then I have a somewhat famous banana bread recipe that I cobbled together when I was much younger. And then 2 new recipe ideas based off of aspects of recipes that I've encountered the original recipes before. I'm making some changes, and I want to see how those changes come out. So one of them is funnel cake, but I want to make a maple cinnamon funnel cake. And then dried pear spice cake, which is based off of what used to be called a war cake. It's something they used to use during the rationing during World War II. So it doesn't use eggs or dairy, and can use shortening or lard for the oil or fat. I will probably see if I can use some coconut oil. It's usually made with raisins and some spices and cooked up and served. I want to replace the raisins with dried pear, and I might do some. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do like a buttered rum glaze, so rum and pear, rum and spice, and butter rum flavoring. I'm not sure if I'll do that. I might just make a simple glaze for it. Like a butter glaze. Not sure. I might not even glaze it. I just might see how it is as a spiced pear cake. And so those are the 2 newer ones for me on that batch. And that's 7 out of 21 that I'll be working on over the next month or 2 to post more gradually, just so I can space it out a little bit. So I've been playing around with that a little bit today, making that plan there. And I'm working on the fitness routine that I've been working on. And it's sort of getting into the territory of intense. So it tends to tap me out a little bit by the end of the day. And I'm trying to schedule it so that I don't have to do anything big and overwork myself when I'm going to the convention. So I'm trying to time it so that when I leave for California, I've had a day or 2 recovery, so I'm not so sore and tired, and that I'll have the energy to walk around Anaheim and walk around the convention center for 3 days and then fly back here. Then I can get right back into the mix and middle of doing my fitness routine for about a week before I have to start with the cardio routine for the changes I'm making. I'm also doing the Sunday night is the night I start the carbohydrate dominant diet. and I got a few things for that today. I got some pasta, some ramen noodles, um, got some breakfast cereals, and I think with the desserts that I'll be making, I think some of that'll cover me for a little while. I may get some waffles, some bread, maybe some applesauce with some cinnamon, and corn chips. I'll make some pico de gallo again, and get a few cans of beans, and like a lot of the things I talked about when I was talking about doing this carb focused diet. I'm pretty much going to stick to most of that. But so I've been kind of trying to plan for the next couple weeks that way. I downloaded TubeBuddy, like I mentioned, as an aspect of seeing if I can get a little bit more. Oh God, feet falling asleep. Oh, so I've also been playing around with. Where did my brain go? My brain wandered off. Where was I? What was I doing? What was I talking about? I got TubeBuddy. Oh, okay. So for planning for the video week that I'll be doing the week I go out to California, I've re-downloaded OBS to allow me to do at least one of those videos on how to use ways I could use OBS to do certain types of videos. I also downloaded an app that lets me capture video from my computer screen and still images from the internet or my desktop. And then I've got that, and I helped a friend of mine sort through some of his old electronics, and he had an old cell phone. I don't know if I'll be able to get it running. It's been sitting for a couple of years with a dead battery, I think. If I plug it in, it might work. And what I'm looking for with that one, the reason I'm talking about that one is, like, I've got my cell phone, and my cell phone has audio recording capabilities. It has video recording capabilities and still picture capabilities. Now, the camera on this is a very low resolution, but it still takes video. His old cell phone doesn't take video. And so part of the fun of this for me is a challenge to see if I can take an absolutely ancient phone. Almost nobody's going to be using a phone like that anymore. And it's got limits that everybody else's phone can do better than. And I want to see if I can make a YouTube video with a phone that's so outdated that it's going to be worse than anybody else's anywhere. Just sort of as a proof that with this bad a phone, I can make a video. So with your phone, you could do one too. And so that's going to be one of them. OBS is going to be one of them. Video and audio off of this one is probably going to be another one. Using the screen capture of my desktop is going to be another one. And I'm not sure how to differentiate more past that. I think that's a decent base set of 4 or 5 types of video I can do based off of the limitations of the technology. But I have 2 more that I'm going to fill in, and I've got some ideas for styles of what I'm going to do on that. But yeah, that's sort of part of what I've been planning today too. So yeah, it's distracted me a little bit from what I should be doing to work towards finishing this week's project. I do think it would be kind of interesting to see if I could use some of the templates I'm making here today, and by the end of the week, as at least partially informing potential designs for the YouTube channel videos. I mean, I still have the pixel art that I made that I can use for my video thumbnails. Anyway, so that's largely what I've been doing today. I have been sort of working towards, because I do, starting Sunday. Sunday's the 1st of July. No, Sunday's the last of June, I believe, right? And then, yeah, this is why I need a calendar. So Monday is the high, and that's when I want my journals ready for me to start using on a regular basis. But I kind of want to have mine finished being made tomorrow night. I'll see if I can risk putting them on my screen or showing them on the camera. And we'll see what it does tomorrow. But yeah, I'm saying a lot tonight. I think I'm a little distracted and confused. I did it again. Okay, stop with the All right, so I'm going to keep putzing away on my bullet journals and show them off whatever phase they're in by tomorrow night, and hope to be using them by Monday. I will also be much more sore from, because my fitness routine is, heavy days and light days and heavy days and light days. And it goes through phases of ramping up to a point where sometimes you stack heavy days against each other. And that's going to leave me sore and low energy. I'm trying to eat up today so I have enough fuel in me to start going through tomorrow. And Monday, I'm trying to think, like tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow is a sort of a big day. Sunday, I think, is a lighter day. Then Monday is a heavy day. I don't think it alternates. I'd have to go look through my schedule. And again, it's a reason to have that schedule planner in front of me so I can have a better sense of that. I don't think there's really room or space for me to detail the entire fitness routine in that bullet journal, in either of the bullet journals. I think it's sort of redundant at that point. I might create a special page just for detailing the plans for that, but I don't know if that's even worth it. I might just write those plans down, give them a designated title, and just refer to them once by the title in each of the journals. I think that's the one that makes the most sense, because it's just going to be needless clutter in those journals. And I don't know that I'm ever going to have to look back and go like, oh yeah, on that day in 2019, I started with doing this exercise and then that exercise. Like I don't need to know what exercises I was doing that day. If I have somewhere written down in a notebook or something, or a file, or even when I post the video here saying, this is my fitness routine, this is my diet, these are the days that I started doing that, I don't need it in my journals. Other than to maybe comment like, okay, this is where this fits into the timeline of things I've done over the last several years, kind of thing. But the details of it don't need to be in the journals. And I got a lot of other things I need to take care of this coming week. Got to get my car inspected, got to get it registered, got to get it repaired. I've got to plan for my flight and my bus to my flight. Got to figure out where I'm staying because that hasn't worked out just yet. That's stressful. That's super, super stressful. And then my finances to make sure I'm covered while I'm out there and when I get back here. It's all super, super tight right now. And it'll be helpful to be able to keep it logged in a journal so that I can see like, oh yeah, this I still need to do. I need to do this tomorrow, do this on Thursday. That's going to be super helpful for me because once I get to this point in my year and my month, I have so many things going on. It's easy for me to forget what I'm doing. Like it's kind of stupid that I keep forgetting to watch the clock so that I can do my live videos at night because I keep forgetting. I get into the middle of a project and I look over and it's like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I should get my butt over on the YouTubes. But all right, so this might be a short night because I don't have much else to share tonight. So I might just call it here. What else do I need to share tonight? I mean, I'm gonna try to do the updates of some edited videos like the book, movies, games again. I let that fall to the wayside. I let that fall to the wayside a little bit while I was working on all these other projects, and I feel sort of bad about it. And I was trying to revamp that too. So my usual style is to make a huge 15 to 20 minute long video talking about the review portion and then the creative prompts. And I feel like I need to be splitting those up. So I think the style I'm going for is a straight review video. And then the next day, the creative prompts. And then the next review and the creative prompts for that the day after that. And so I think the way I was framing them out was Monday as a review. Tuesday was views day, so watching movies and TV again. And then Wednesday was the creative prompts inspired by Monday's video. Then Thursday was going to be another review. Friday was going to be something else. And then Saturday was going to be the creative prompts based off of Thursday. And then Sunday, I think that could be a review the schedule and the planning for the week kind of day. So I'm not sure what I'm doing on Friday yet. I have to go back over and look at what I was thinking I was going to do. Because I had a list of things at one point. It was like Monday something, Tuesday was Views Day, Wednesday was Friends Day, Thursday was, I can't even remember. I'd have to go look that up again. But I think there's a way to space out the week and split up my videos so that it's not such a big bite of things that not everybody wants, and make it just more possible for people to get the parts they want only. And I think that's a better format for that. So I think I'm going to try. Monday is the 1st of July. So I'm going to try to have a review of Peter Pan, which was the latest book that I did, up on Monday. Views Day, Tuesday, I'm going to watch a movie. Then Wednesday, props based off of Peter Pan. Thursday is going to be a review of Avengers Endgame and possibly Infinity Wars. And then Saturday will be the creative prompts inspired by Infinity War and Endgame. Not sure what I'm doing on Friday. And Sunday could be the review, preview of the week coming. And that would mean that the week that I go to California, it'll be a board game and a product review and another movie on that Tuesday. And then by the day I come back, I'll get back here on a Monday. And that'll be a taste test video and then a art video from some of my travels. Art or music? I think I'm due for music at this point. And then video game, and then health and well-being will be the 21st of July starting, and that's when I'll actually do the discussion of the fitness routine that I'm doing right now, because I'll have been doing that for about no, I'm mixing things up. The recorded and edited will be discussing of the fitness routine that I've done now. And the live video will be a review of the high carb diet while starting the cardio routine. And that's all the 21st through I think it's the 28th. And then that should get me through to the end of the month, where we start a whole new month, August. And by then, I'll be in a different position. I think I'll be doing writing to start that off. Yeah, so it's a lot to keep track of right now, and the journals should help me with that. The bullet journals should help me with that. I'm sprawled out here. I'm sliding down. I need to sit up again. The bullet journal should help me keep track of some of that a little bit better. But it's a lot going on, and I'm hoping that in the next few days I get my feet under me a little bit again, because dealing with the car stuff and the trip and the travel planning, it's sort of derailed my thought processes and energy a little bit. So I'm sort of sliding back, and I'm getting into that phase of withdrawal here. I'm not driving. I did the calculations for the trip to California, and the trip to California driving, just in gas costs alone, would cost me $850. I can get a flight, and I did. I got a flight for $400. And I'm looking to, I could probably get 3 nights at a Airbnb for $100 to $200. So total cost is less than it would take me just to pay for the gas to get to California. And so I'm going to just take the flight and do it that way. Fly there, fly back. And it'll cost me about $600 total, which is $200 cheaper than driving. And if I drove, I'd still have to figure out where I'm going to stay and what I'm going to do for a food budget while I'm there. The food budget for right now is I only need to have to figure out food for 3 days while I'm there. And then once I'm back here, I have access to a kitchen where I can eat cheaply again. And so, I mean, that just makes way more sense to me. Yeah, it's much cheaper to fly. I don't like it as much because it then means that when I arrive in a location, I'm entirely dependent on walking or public transportation or renting a car. And I don't want to rent a car and drive through Los Angeles area. Driving in Los Angeles is a nightmare, let alone in a car that's not yours. So I would much rather take the public transportation there. Honestly, I would prefer to have my own vehicle, and I would prefer to have a couch surfing situation arranged so that I could stay with somebody who I relatively know and could stay with them for 3 days, no cost, have fun at nights hanging out with them and cook some food to share with them. But if I have to, I'll take an Airbnb. And that'll be easier for me in the long run, I think, not only budget wise and travel time, but also just the sense that the whole thing is Wednesday through the end of Sunday. That's all it's going to take for me to be there. If I were to drive it, it would be 2 weeks travel time easy, plus 4 days at the convention. I don't know, and I don't know that I would. I think my phone is too old to use the Uber app, so I might have to see if I'm using the airport Wi-Fi, I might order an Uber. But as near as I can tell, I did a little looking around, and I may have to research it a little bit more before I head out there. But the bus routes through the area, I can pay, I believe, if I pay somewhere in the range of $7 to $12, I'll get a 3-day bus pass or a week-long bus pass from the start of the time where I arrive, and I'd be covered all the way to the time I leave. It's like $7 to $12 for a bus pass, and I can catch any bus with that bus pass. So any bus that's running around the LA, Anaheim, Orange County area, I can just catch a bus and ride it. It's like that makes way more sense to me. And I guess they have buses that run most of the night because you can get a single day bus pass for like $3 or something like that. And the single day bus pass was it's 24 hours from when you purchase it. So it's good it's not 24 hours. It's on the day you purchase it, it's good till 3 a.m. the next day. And so that implies to me that their buses run past midnight. Not that I want to be up and about after midnight. If every day I get up to this convention and go through the schedule that I have planned for this convention, I have a meetup with one of a big food YouTuber scheduled for one day. And I went through their entire schedule and found something for every chunk of time between, I think it's 10 a.m., it might even be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. There's something going on. And so I've got something in each of those time slots prioritized by, I want to see these more than these. And so I figured them out, and I figured out which ones I want to go to. And my schedule is pretty much booked solid from Thursday morning all the way through the end of Saturday night. And then I get there on Wednesday night late. I will probably hang out in the airport until Thursday morning. And then at the end of the convention, I will be leaving there probably around 9 or 10. And if I have a place to stay, I'll probably stay that night there and then check out early Sunday morning. Do a few things around the LA, Anaheim area, and then catch my flight Sunday night get back to New England on Monday morning. And so I really think like the bus pass is the best solution. I don't know how many blocks I'll walk between bus stops to get the routes that I need. I'll have to figure out the bus routes before I go, but I'm not opposed to walking very far. The convention, in order to get into VidCon, you have to have a VidCon pass, and you buy a ticket to a convention like that. They do sometimes have a single day pass for a cheaper price. I usually book my tickets for a convention months in advance, where they give you the early bird special. So I think I paid like $243 for a creator's pass, a viewer's pass. They have like 3 tiers. They have fan pass, a creator's pass, and an industry pass. Now the fan pass is probably like 150. The creator's pass is the one I do because it gets you into workshops and it lets you meet and discuss with creators that are bigger known creators who are volunteering their time to help people learn and grow. And you get like a group conference with them. They're like 13 other people, and you go in and sit down with a named YouTuber, and you have about an hour like group conversation. And then workshops, like one of the YouTubers that I watch sometimes. I should tip that back out. One of the YouTubers I watch sometimes for art stuff. He's going to be doing a workshop on how to use certain apps on cell phones to edit and add effects to videos that you can upload straight from your phone with the edited content to YouTube. And I don't know what apps he's going to be doing, but I'm curious about it. There are a couple other workshops that I'm curious about seeing. I don't do a lot of the fan tier stuff because that's mainly just it's watching people like PewDiePie. Well, he won't be there, but it's watching big name YouTubers who are celebrities talk about what they do and stuff like that. And there are a few of those panels that are kind of interesting. It's like when you have the Vlogbrothers talk about things they do to benefit charities and those in need, and how to use YouTube status to benefit those in need. Those would be interesting panels to see, but that's still really just kind of like other people talking about things they can and are doing, and that's a little more passive. And I'm not paying the ticket price for the convention for that. I'm paying for the chance to interact and meet other creators and learn from each other, collaborate with each other, and take workshops on new things that are maybe worth exploring and learning to do. And so the ticket price for that is somewhere between $200 and $300. Early bird price, I think, was $240 something. And then getting there is the next big expense, and then staying somewhere while you're there is the next big price. And so all told, by the end of that, so for my flight, I need a shift here. Okay, let's see if we can sit up a little bit better. And now you're going to go hazy. All right, there you go. All told, I think, let's see, the flight is $400. Incidental travel costs to get to the airport and stuff is probably maybe $30 to $40. The convention is $240. And so if I have to book a Airbnb probably about $200 for the length of time that I'll be staying there. So 200, 400, 240. So about 800 for the whole trip. Now, if I were driving, it would cost me 800 just for the gas to get there. The convention cost would be 240 something more, and place to stay maybe another 200. So we're already talking at that point somewhere in the range of $1,200 just to drive out there. Now, it made sense to do it that way last year because I was already out there. I had already driven across the country to multiple places. I was already traveling. And when I left there, I continued to travel for some other functions and finished my circuit around the country. So it made sense to do that last year. I was thinking I might do some more stops out this year, but it's not in the budget. It's not in my budget right now to go spend close to $2,000 to visit a couple other cities, feed me, drive me out there, get to a convention, and then leave that convention and do the whole thing all over again on the way back. I do not have the funds for a $2,000 to $2,500. I don't have the money right now. And I mean, the convention is. I've talked with some people who have been to VidCon, and I get mixed results. It depends on what kind of YouTuber you are, I think. There have been a few people who have gone to VidCon once or twice and said, like, yeah, I went once or twice. I learned everything I needed to learn because every year it's the same kind of panels and I don't learn anything new because they're not covering anything that's useful to me. And then I've talked to some people who every year they've gone for the last 6 or 7 years and they get something great out of it every year. So for me, it makes sense that if you're using it, if you're using all of it, it's valuable to you. I do feel like I want to bring my bullet journals with me because I want to show them off, honestly. There's a YouTuber out there who does, I believe, a channel called something like Living with ADHD or something like that. And she did a series of videos on bullet journals as well. And, it's fun to talk with people about like what kind of things work for them. I want to talk with the food creators who are going to be at that gathering that I'm scheduled to go to and talk with them about different ways that they're monetizing or making a business or a living from their food content. And I want to get some ideas for new projects, but also have the chance to meet other small YouTubers and do collaborative videos so that we can work together on a video. And maybe that's something goofy, like I get together and collaborate with a beauty YouTuber and we do a collaboration on putting me in makeup or something stupid like that. I would totally do that for a fun collaboration with somebody. That would be sort of goofy fun to have with somebody. Gamers, I don't know that I could do a lot with gamers, but maybe. I mean, I could probably figure out something to do with just about anybody. And so the fact that I have my 2 channels, potentially 3 within the year, and the variety of topics that I cover means that there should almost always be an opportunity for me to gather something from the convention. That's just as long as I can afford to keep doing it. It's not always going to be plausible for me right now, the way things are, to keep spending $240 a year on this. Now, if this is something that networking with other creators gets me the chance to collaborate and expand my audience, and my audience expansion allows me to get affiliate marketing through Amazon and eBay and those kinds of things, the income that potentially generates could end up paying for me to go to the convention every year. And that would be worthwhile. So, I mean, that's sort of part of what I'm thinking about there. And, you know, getting an audience who's interested in the things I'm interested in means that my bullet journal designs, my artwork, my puzzles and backpack sewing patterns, and my books, all of those things are things that I can actually offer and sell. And I'm hoping this year when I go out to VidCon, talking with other creators, I can feel a little more comfortable with that aspect of things. Like, I don't have any trouble planning and figuring out the best way to do those things. My problem is getting to a point where I can feel comfortable doing it. Because it feels weird to be marketing myself and selling things. I don't know why it weirds me out so much, but I do feel like talking with other creators about it can help me work past some of that uncertainty and make sure I'm doing it in the best way for my audience. So I'm hoping to get some of that this year. And it looks like they'll have some panels on things like copyright. And that's the other thing I want to learn there is what I can get away with releasing partly or in whole free online while maintaining the rights to it and having the possibility of selling copies of it later. So I think that's really it for tonight. I'm going to do some more putzing around, and I hope to have my journal finished tomorrow. One of my journals finished tomorrow, maybe both of them, so that I can start using it to schedule and plan things out as best as possible. I got so much to do in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be really weird too, because after the convention is over and I'm back here, I have like not much else planned. It's literally going to be editing video, working on videos and projects here, and that's it. I sort of have like 2 weeks off after the convention, which should be kind of nice because I'm going to need that time to recover. But it's not really off because I still have work I need to do on the videos that I'm working on. But it's going to be a little less hectic, which will be really nice because I'm really approaching the edge of like, we've got too much on our plate every day I wake up right now. But hopefully I get it all worked out nicely. I learn some important things, make some good contacts, and get things moving in a positive direction. Alrighty, I'm going to call it here tonight because I think my brain is starting to fade. So, take care and good night. I might see if I can do some recording of stuff at the VidCon and use it as I'll post some after convention videos when I get back, so you can get a sense of what the convention's like. It sounds like it would be too much for you to ever want to go, but I can give you some vicarious experience of it. Alrighty, see you tomorrow.